by the chair. I know you as a quiet person, but we met last night, so anything you like to say, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Joette Dukes. I'm the Executive Director for PD Regional Council of Governments. And the only thing I want to do is just thank you all for your support of PD Regional COG, and all the wonderful things that we have planned in store for Marlboro County are just very exciting. We're not going to talk about them yet because we're still strategically planning with your administrator about some workforce things, and we also have other projects going on here that we are proud of, and we want to do more of that in the future. But I thank you all. I actually have four council of government board members that are council members also, and that would be Mr. Woods, Ms. Lawson, Dr. Johnson, and Mr. Cliver, and I appreciate your support of PD Regional College. Thank you so very much to the entire council.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, there will be a motion and a second to go to executive session. So we will leave y'all in a few. Be back. Okay, there was no motion, no action taken. Can I get a motion to come out of executive session? So moved.
Second?
Motion been made and second, come out of executive session. All in favor, show of hand. Unanimous. We move on. Old business, ordinance number 876, an ordinance to amend the agreement of development of a multi-county industrial and business park by and between Darlington County and Marlboro County in South Carolina, provide for the development of a jointly owned and operated industrial business park so as to include additional properties in Darlington County and Marlboro County as part of the joint county industrial park and other matters related thereto. This is the second reading. We had a public hearing. Mr. Clyburn, you want to
Mr.
elaborate?
Chairman, once again, this ordinance 876 is to establish the multi-county park, so that we have to keep coming back for each project we do to put in the multi-county park. Those properties will automatically hold those projects in there without having to put it in there. And that's really just taking something that we had to do once a year instead of keep doing it again and again.
Okay. Real quick, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
On the first one on the, for up under the exhibit B, on the first part of it, the first one on there, do you know if they pulled a permit to go into the, I mean, is all that been going, that's the solar part? Going to industrial, I mean, the one, where it says properties located in the county industrial park. You got number 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's a, I mean, it's got all the tax maps, but on the first one, do you know if they pulled a permit?
No, I don't think they purchased a permit yet, Cloudless, no.
They haven't pulled a permit yet?
I don't think they pulled a permit yet. Now, I gotta talk with Chad about that, but I don't think, because normally if they have, we would see that money, because it's a
Well, I won't
substantial
worry about
amount.
money, I just wanna make sure they follow our ordinance to be
Oh,
able to
yeah.
notify people
So-
in the area, or if they've notified people in the area. you
Right.
know,
So I don't think they've even pulled a permit yet
Okay,
from,
okay. That was my concern.
okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve ordinance number 876. Second?
Motion been made and second. All in favor? Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Those opposed? Those abstain? Okay. Appointment to boards and commission. Any appointment to boards or any commissions? Okay.
I don't have an appointment, but may I stress about our COG meeting last night, please, sir?
I'll let this go into that during the segment of, council reports, council members. We're gonna move with, the finance report and then administrative report, and then we'll go through everybody. And they can, you can fill in then at that time. Mr. West Parks.
Mr. Chairman, council members, you have before you the report for the 5 months ending November 30th, 2025. We had general fund revenues in the amount of $4,185,350 in comparison to $3,777,522 for that same 5-month period ending November 30th of 24. General fund expenditures through November 30th, 2025 totaled $6,702,160 of a $16,492,895 budget, or 40.64% of budget year to date. General fund expenditures totaled $6,715,481 of a $14,748,543 budget, or 45.53% for the same 5-month period ending November 30th of 24. In conclusion, expenditures, revenues are higher than the prior year, and expenditures are slightly lower than last year. The county should be able to maintain expenditures within budget, and hopefully revenues will meet estimates. Overall, the financial operations look favorable at this junction in the year. Any questions?
Revenue and expenditure report, I have 2 questions,
Sure.
okay? revenue, report,
Okay,
that intergovernment state, funds that we have at 2.9 appropriation there,
right.
the money that's come in that parentheses, is that money that's come in or what? What does that mean for us?
What that is, it's a part of our state shared revenue. We get an allocation of state revenue based on our population. And so, every, county, entity, participates in state shared revenue.
So that's our monies from the state, is that right?
From the state of South Carolina, that's correct.
Okay, so let me go into the expenditure. The first item I really want to talk about is the 4101, the council's budget there.
Okay, right,
When I pulled September, which we got to report in October, September expenditures and October expenditures, I'm very concerned about September expenditures from the county, but from the council's budget. There's a big expense there of $61,000. I know that we normally have 12, 9, and 13. Can you give me an idea of what that probably is? It's probably a $50,000 expense. What would that be coming out of our
well,
budget?
one of the things that's significant, we did issue a partial payment to the audit firm. You know, they, of course, were doing field work. That audit engagement is about $50,000. So that was one of the big items. And then also, sometimes there's one-time payments that we end up making. And I'm not sure whether or not it could have been, I'm trying to think in terms of in September, what might have took place at that point in time. I can look at that to give you an
But you're saying
idea.
it could be a partial payment.
Well, it could be,
Some of it
it
could be a partial payment.
yeah, it could be a partial payment of a significant bill.
And so on a partial payment, so you think that partial payment is $30,000, something like that? 'Cause
Well,
what are
when
we
you look at
expecting
an
to pay?
audit engagement at 50,000, if they've done, just say for instance, they've done half of the work at that point in time, that could be 25,000 just in one item. So that could be, that could probably be fairly significant.
But I know how much we have budgeted for them. Are we gonna stay in budget with this company?
We should, yeah, yeah.
The other question on the same item is that I totaled up the average expense, revenues and as far as the expenditures for the year. Thus far, we've gone 5 months since July. And it looks like, September, we were spending about 1.5 mil. Then we had 1.1 and 1.3. So if we
Right.
stay on task with about 1.3 mil for the next 7 months, we should stay in budget.
I think we will. At this point in time, the ideal percentage would be a little bit over 41%, and we're actually under that at this point in time. And that also takes into consideration that particularly non-departmental, we have a lot of insurance costs that we pay at the very beginning of the year. We pay our property tax and our property insurance in full then. There are some other upfront costs that we end up paying. So I feel very good about where we're at with the budget at this point.
So you just answered that question about non-departmental. It was a
Okay,
big
good.
expense of $438,000 in
Right.
September, and then it went down significantly. So
That-
was that
That
what
was,
you're
that
telling
was
me?
definitely, that would have been some type of insurance payment that we would have made.
That's all on that part right now.
Very good. Any other questions?
Yes, sir, Mr. Parker. I asked for Fund 38
Right.
expenditures last time, and just looking at them, I have some highlighted here. It says cut at lawn service.
Sure.
You know, it's just stick out, and we had 2 charges within 5 days apart in November. And so, I mean, I would imagine that's grass cutting, but my question would be, what would that service be used for, since we've got we contracted, we bid out all of our grass cutting? What would this extra be
Right.
for?
Right. And I'm sure what happened, it was for the, I guess, the spec building, and I'm not sure that the spec building was included within the initial contract. That's one thing I could look at.
Was the industrial park included in that?
It was not.
I thought our, public works was gonna take care of the spec building.
I thought so too.
Our public works usually does it.
So,
I didn't know about that, Chuck, I don't know.
well, there's 1,
Two-
2, 3, 4 charges of $1,400. And so my question would be, if it had to be somebody else, we should have went to the person that got the grass cutting
Yeah,
contract and offered it to them with, on 11/7, we had one for $1,400, then we had one for on 11/12. I mean, that's a lot of, grass wasn't growing that much within 5 days.
I'm sure it would have been
That-
for a previous.
But
you know,
this
going back.
is the kind of things that we're finding, whenever we start digging, little teeny things, this throw out red flags to me. And so I would like to know, what is that for? If you didn't authorize it, who authorized it? This $1,400, should that been bid? Did we notify the grass cutting person that was doing it originally? Is it something the county cutting? Why didn't the county get to it when we were told the county was cutting it? So things like that's what I question. And so, and then the amount, I guess that's in this, it was a big amount, then there was a transfers, correct?
Right,
Yeah, so you just transferred to a,
probably to,
account.
the money market account or the local government investment account.
the actual cash on hand and 38 is, the investment account, then you have another account. Is that amount is through the end of the year? Remaining?
That amount is what is in that account at the
Okay.
time we ran the report.
Okay. But I would like to know about, if you would let me know about those.
Okay.
The delinquent tax sale, we had 26,000. I don't see where I thought we were gonna look at trying to get a 1.4 mil from the delinquent tax sale. I see just 156,000.
Well, that is what's posted as revenue. There again, what we collected is not necessarily, revenue, or those funds are being held. So, until the property, owner actually
Redeem it.
would redeem, yes.
Okay. And then, are you finished to go into the projects yet, or you
Yeah,
just okay?
I'm ready if
Okay.
there's.
There's you remember I keep asking about, are we gonna be spending any more money in the golf course projects?
Sure.
I see that we're overspent in a lot of those areas again. In November, there was a lot of excessive spending there, which puts us in one area, a negative $5,000. I see in, the kitchen area, we don't have $7,000 more in that account.
Right.
So there's a lot of November spending here, and you only have $7,000. We only have $7,000 in that account. And it's November of 2025.
That's for a project that, is now finished.
So when they run out of money,
All year long, spending that kind of money. That's for a project to get that kitchen to the commercial grade, because we got the money from the Love Foundation to help do that, and so,
75,000, yeah.
and then we spend that money to get that in the kitchen where it is.
so
That project, I mean, that's money left over in the project that we save.
left over, we've already got $67,000.
We've expended, $67,816, but we've got a $75,000 budget there.
Right, so we're right at $7,000 for that project.
We have
So that
7,000
means that
remaining.
if we have any other project and goes beyond that $7,000, will that not put us in a negative?
Well, we've expended, $2,625,000 total out of $2,680,000 budget. So if you look at the very bottom of the page, the difference between those numbers, roughly $55,000 left that we have, in capital type of expenditures that we could make, out at that golf course.
And the irrigation,
Yeah.
we only have $6,000 left on that, in that account.
Right.
But irrigation goes on, just, I know nothing has been done since
Some of
August.
the-
You don't see foresee anything else going on with irrigation?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
That's it.
Okay. Any other questions about the projects?
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Clapper?
Good evening. First of all, I want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. And while the city of Bennettsville does have their Christmas tree lighting as we speak, at City Hall tonight until 7:30, the county, we are having our employee Christmas dinner tomorrow. Make sure council does get that. I think the email got sent out, but just to make sure, over in Glenham. We also have Christmas caroling at the courthouse, 2:30 on December 16th, next Tuesday. And the door decorating contest, the 18th, next Thursday. So again, Merry Christmas, and we do have some different activities for the county. I do want to touch on the Aquatic Center. We're still waiting on DHEC. We've been waiting on them for a couple of months now, and you know, we've talked with CP&L to make sure that they can get everything in that they need to get to make sure that that process continues. We're also working with CP&L to research about getting more precise operating procedures and costs. I know that was brought up in the last meeting about the operating and the cost, but we're going to get a much more detailed about the operating costs and the procedures that are necessary, licensing and that kind of stuff, and certification. So we're going to get all that through CP&L, that agency. Any questions from the council?
Concerning that point,
Concerning everything.
you finished?
I'm finished.
I was gonna ask about that again, and you explained that, so you're saying we're still waiting on DHEC to give final approval, or what?
Right, we're just waiting on, to go back to what happened, we were permitted, but then the city said, well, wait a minute, there's some issue with the flooding onto the street. So once the city said, well, wait a minute, we have to redo that permit, we redid that permit, but then DHEC said, we gotta redo our permit too because you changed some things. And that's what's taking so long. We had to change up some things in the design.
We are aware that this is December,
Oh, yeah,
and
we
it
are.
takes, my concern is the engineering portion. How long will this engineer have given us that they will start, just from the start date of that project to the end date? What would that look like?
So the engineer really gave us some dates that are way before now. And, you know, I can't make them go out there and just start digging.
No?
Okay, so we have to wait till we get the permits. DHEC has historically taken a long time over the past couple of years. Now the DES, they've done switching up, and so we just have to wait on them. That's all we can do. That's all we can do.
I have to ask because every week I hear a constituent, someone ask, what's going on with the Aquatic Center? And
I hear the same questions.
I cannot ignore that. The next concern I have is that, last month, this council passed an ordinance about the decals on the vehicles.
Yes.
Are there decals on the vehicles?
Not right now, but we're ordering the decals, and again, I mean, we don't have any problem. Whatever council orders, we're gonna put the decals on the vehicles. Yes.
So what is the step for you to do that though, sir? When we pass a policy to be implemented, how long should it take for it to get done?
How long till those things come in that we?
Had they been ordered?
Now we did. I did have Mr. Covington order it because he keeps them out there with him. The decals out of the shop. So we did have him order the decals. Some of them are gonna be different colors, so we had to do because some of the vehicles are white, some of the vehicles are dark, so we have to just get different ones, blue ones and white ones. So yeah, we ordering decals, and they're gonna go in there. I was expected to be on there before the end of the year. So
Has the employee vehicle policy been implemented in regards to vehicles staying on county premises?
Used for official business only?
Yes, for official business only. And county employees have been notified of that.
But has it been followed through?
I mean, I haven't.
Since you the CEO and you
I
manage the
understand, but
board.
I haven't looked at every single person in every single vehicle to see what everyone's done. But, you know, I've talked to supervisors to make sure that they are following that code of the vehicles. Yes.
So you're saying all of them have been followed? I mean, I think what we're getting at is, council makes a decision, and it takes forever to do it. Whenever council makes a decision, we expect it to be followed, and if it's a priority for us, and I don't know, I mean, there's only a couple of people talking, but if it's a problem for us, I think it ought to be taken as very serious to say, we see it as a problem, we hear it in the community, and we need to implement that. If that's a big issue for us, it should be a big issue for you.
So, let me clarify, okay, if you put it that way. No one's not taking serious what council has said that they want to have done with any part of the employee policy. You know, we have ordered the decals, and then we put on there. I know that we were looking at the cost of decals, but look, if council wants it, that's fine. I think the decal is about $400 a piece, from what we said, and we're going to put them on all the vehicles. That's that. It's not going to not be done. Now, as far as the implementing the actual rules of the vehicle policy, yeah, we've met with supervisors, or we've talked to them and said, look, these are the policies. This what needs to be followed. Now, I haven't followed everyone around, and that's going to be some follow up to that. You know, we will do some following up with that and make sure, you know, that policy is being followed.
The audit report, I know that Mr. West is a finance chair,
Correct.
director. Have you heard anything from the date the audit report has come in? Usually last year it was December.
Right.
It will be, they're actually writing the report this week. Probably this week and next week they'll be writing it. And the council will end up receiving that report in January. The requirement is we have to have it submitted by December 31, you know, to the state treasurer.
So y'all planning on presenting it to us at the next council meeting?
That's correct.
Okay, that's a concern for me.
I think one of the suggestions was we do executive or the finance committee meet prior to.
Meeting prior to, and then, yes, that would be fine.
Okay, please do make sure we see that report before then, because of what we have with these expenditures on these credit cards. One last thing I need to ask is for is, public of these, what we call quarters, hits right on the bypass. Will there be anything done between now and the holidays or whenever? I know it's cold, and I'm not trying to ask anyone, but when we have staff members and we getting grant funding for the perimeter litter, I'm expecting monthly cleanups, because I know that's one part of the recommendation of that grant. I know that because I checked into that.
Right. So we are going to be doing cleanups, but you know, I can't promise it'll be something before Christmas. Again, you know, I think I made a report last time that we are with our public works. We're pretty understaffed in that department, and they are doing some. You know, now's the time that they catch up on some of the cutting, because there's not much foliage out there. So they had to catch up on some of the stuff, especially at the airport. We had to do a lot of ditching out there, and so there's a lot of work going on right now. So they're not just sitting around, but we're going to get some cleanups done. You know, it has always been important to me to make sure this county gets cleaned up, and so we're going to make sure that happens. But
I appreciate
it's just going to be a while before we get to that.
The airport is important, but it's not as important to as to me, was the communities that I live in, where my constituents live. That's what's important to me.
I'm not putting one against the other. What I'm saying is that right now is what we have to do the airport, because this is our window of opportunity to get that done. And we're also getting some, some correspondence from DHEC to make sure that that does get done immediately. But once that gets done, then we can have, we should have some people to be able to go out there and get some of the trash done. And then we're also looking at, we're using some of the inmate assistance, and we just haven't had as many inmates that have been able to go do that. So once that happens, once that picks up, then we'll be able to implement that as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Before I sit down, I do want to say happy birthday to Gladys Bridges of Tatum, South Carolina, who did turn 105 on December the 7th, this past Sunday. And we just want to say happy birthday from Marlboro County. And that's it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ms. Lawson, your report.
I want to say that I attended the legislative conference, and I gave each of you one of these things for what county needs to know. And I also made sure that you get one, Mr. Claver, and the finance director. Only because that now it looks like in our intergovernmental fund, we will be having more income coming in our fund. So, Mr. Parks, when you see that influx of money coming in, that should be something that's coming because of this waste tire thing. I know that the legislative delegation are going to be meeting about this, and this is one thing they're going to push. That's going to be the top on the agenda for them. We attended COG meeting last night, and I know that we all heard what some good things was going on with COG. I brought up the fact about the zoning ordinance last month, and COG Representative Ms. Privet indicated that they were willing to help this county with our zoning and planning ordinance. And I hope that that you will make contact with that, because our ordinance is outdated. I would like a copy, I've asked for it, the copy of the board members who was on that committee. I need to have that copy, please. I think we all need that, because the members who are serving on that committee, be sure that they're getting the training that they need, because when Ms. Privet meets she won't be meeting with us, she's gonna be meeting with them. And I would like to be sure that these boards that we have these people on for all these years, that they are attending meetings. We don't get any type report from any board. Once in a while, we get a report. We got the economic development person to give us some updates, but we do not get a monthly report from not one single board that we have, that we appoint. And that's something that I'm just decided that we need more reports, more communication with that. And for my comments tonight, I just want to say thank you, if this is our council time. Thanks everybody for 2025. And I want to say that there's been some paving going on in my district on Marshall Street. And I do know that they're patching up the bad spots on those roads, because that area hadn't been paved in 45 to 50 years. And so I do want to thank the STDOT and whatever funding we can get with the COG to get pushing along those streets such as that, because we have roads in our area that's 40 and 50 years old that have not been paved. I also want to take the time to thank the citizens who always come out, either through coming out, watching the meeting through social media with the Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much for your interest in this county. So I do appreciate each and every one of you. And also that the follow-up, Mr. Clyburn, with those things that we pointed out to you in executive session. We hope that we could be hearing something soon on that. And I also want to say to each of you county members here that I do appreciate each of you. And I gave you something. I can't give you a new car, but I gave you something to keep your car smelling new. So thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Mr. Misley.
I would just say Merry Christmas, and I I've enjoyed working with each of these, councilmen and women this year, and I appreciate each one of them. Merry Christmas to everyone. Find a way to be a blessing to somebody.
Mr. Odom.
Same thing. Merry Christmas to all the council members and all the staff, citizens of Marlboro County. Town McCall, we do have a new police chief, of course, y'all know that. Still trying to get some police officers on board. He's got a couple of certified officers that are talking to him about possibly working, at least starting out part-time. And just everybody keep the law enforcement officers, our EMS, fire department, all your first responders, keep them on your prayers through this holiday season. This is usually a busy time for everybody, not just shopping. Your hoodlums and your vandals and your people doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, they seem to crank it up during the holidays, and then that requires law enforcement and could require EMS and fire to work extra hard. So just keep all those people that do a lot of things when we're home, sleep at night, that they're on the road trying to save someone's life or help someone in need. So everybody have a great Christmas.
I just pretty much want to echo that. Just Merry Christmas to all of you and council members. Good working with everybody and the staff. It's been sometimes here and there that we don't see eye to eye, but we made it through another year, so that's good. So I want us to work things out and be ready for the new year. And when we get this year, I want to be ready for business. I want to get some things done and see some progress. I want to see some activity, see some stuff going on. We've done a lot of promising and stuff, seems like, and we ain't throwing no dirt yet. I just want to see something happening first of the year. So that's all I got to say. Merry Christmas to everybody, and like I said, remember the main thing: keep the Lord in Christmas. So that's all.
Your first year.
Merry Christmas to each and every one, and it was a great pleasure working with you all for this first year, and looking to see something planted. We throwing around a lot of seeds, but we want to see something planted, to get the people excited to see that we are making things happen, and most of all, find someone this holiday season to be a blessing to.
Jason?
Just want to say wish everyone a Merry Christmas, but like I said, and if we don't see you before the new year, and a Happy New Year. 2025 been a great year for Marlboro County. Of course, we always want more. That's our nature. We always want more. I appreciate the whole staff, from Mr. Clyburn all the way down to the grass cutter. It take a team to make everything work. And we are the governing body, but we know each and every day we don't do everyday job like y'all do. And don't nobody take this personal, but when the county put things out there, we know y'all doing your best. Mr. Clyburn, you got so many different hats you got to put on. From the sheriff department, you got to answer the dam, you got to answer the EMS. Everybody got to answer. You got to answer everybody. So Mr. West, you the money man. And, so when we point things out, it's not like we are singling you or anybody out. Do your job. We know y'all doing your job. On the vehicle policy, you give a person enough rope, they will hang themselves. The only thing you do, we put the policy in place, and when somebody violate, it gonna come to light. It gonna come to light. You won't have nobody have to be watching with a scope and binocular to find out who is violating. Sooner or later, everybody, enough rope, you can hang yourself. So we know y'all doing your job, and we do appreciate it. We do our job to put things in place, and as things evolve and develop, it'll come out. We're hoping everybody have a safe holiday season. We look for everybody to come tomorrow for the dinner. Miss Sunda and her team put a lot of work into it, so the least we can do is come and eat. Well, at least y'all can do is come eat. I'm gonna be there.
With that being said, our hearts are clear and minds. Ms. Sumter, you got anything? Anybody got anything to say before we, I hit this gavel? Can I get a motion?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank y'all.